I just want to say one thing. You know, Lance really did a great job about getting you involved and clapping for people. I was coaching some people on the West Coast this week, and what we saw in their team they were not getting excited over anything. They were real reserved out there for some reason. People would get a customer, they'd get a brand partner, they'd rank up, they'd win an iPad, they'd win a Lexus. Nobody knew about it. Okay? So their group is kind of leveled off because people were doing things, but nobody knew about it. So we had a conversation about, my gosh, you've got to get excited. Picture going to a Seahawks, you know, out in Washington State, going to a Seahawks game, 60, 80,000 people in an arena, and nobody claps. Nobody gets excited. You know, one, the team would hate you, and you would probably lose that game, and you would be voted the worst home team in history. And, you know, so you've got to get excited for your teams, for your teammates. You've got to make posts on Facebook today. That's our big stand-up cheer program that we have is social media. If you have a brand partner that gets their first customer, post that on your team pages. If somebody gets a brand partner, brag on them. And then other leaders will pitch in and they'll brag on them, and it's like clapping for people. So it's a big, big deal. Social media has definitely helped that. But you've got to stand up and cheer for your people when they're doing the least little thing. Because everybody has that little sign. They may not show you, but what that little sign is saying and flashing is make me feel good. And that's our job as being leaders and you know, people that you bring into the business. You've got to make people feel good. And this is a great avenue for us to do that in with Nerium is people are starving for that. There's another company that has a little pink card, and you know, they've got, I don't know, a couple hundred people that drive those pink cars, and you know, some of you know who I'm talking about. Now, here's a little 3 or 4 year old company, Nerium, that's got 10 or 12, 15,000 cars. That other company's been around. That other companies, and there's a lot of companies like that, I'm not just picking on them, but we have something special here. Take advantage of it. This is maybe our one chance, your one chance to really be somebody in this world and help somebody in this world. And you've got to work like crazy to make it happen. So with that, the Nerium Ripple, we talked about this. You know, this is huge. Giving back to your community, giving back to whatever it is that you want to do. The Nerium Ripple is really, Jeff is really, really high on helping other people, doing stuff in your community. I've got a friend that was, he just passed away a few months ago, but he was an alcoholic and got into this industry. Ended up making $300,000 a month is all for years. But the thing that drove him was he wanted to do a drug and rehab center in Texas to help people that really from the street pretty much that couldn't afford it. So he paid for the center, he paid for the doctors, he paid for the counselors. He's got a foundation set up that still does that even though he's passed away. He used this industry for that one goal of his, was to give that back. And I think that's pretty neat for somebody to do.
Touched on this. I mean, guys, the company gives us a vehicle, and that vehicle is to go out and let's have fun bowling, okay? The company will match whatever you raise and donate it towards Big Brothers Big Sisters. Lemonade for Littles. I know that a lot of people, you see the cute little lemonade stands are posted all over Facebook. I know we had a great time doing it with our kids, and our kids, I mean, guys, if you've got kids, incorporate them into your business. I'm not saying tell them to go sell Nerium, but how many of you at your jobs, your bosses, your superiors, know your kids' names? Know your kids' hearts. Know your kids' goals and aspirations. Many of you know that my children are very much involved in my business. I mean, my daughter asked the Creeks, they're in town staying with us, threw a fit that she could not be here today to see her Nerium family. And she was up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go do an event with me not long ago. The point that I'm making is the ripple of this company didn't just stop when we got in our cars to leave the event. It traveled through our house, okay? The company actually does care what's going on in the four walls of your home. And if you'll allow that information to come in with the happiness movement, watch what happens to your life.
I don't know, did you share today about your picture that you had in your office, your family picture? Yeah,
so you guys, I brought it. I took it out to the Salina Regional, I did. I'll share a quick story with you. When we got involved with Nerium, I was gone a lot with my job. And Megan, being the good mommy, scheduled family picture day with a photographer, and she had it on the books forever. Well, the day came for pictures. She'd gone out and bought all the, matching outfits and the perfect scenery, the perfect location, the perfect everything. And I get a phone call from my boss saying, we've got a closing. You run the sales department. You're going to be there. And I was like, man, I've got family picture day. It's my day off. We've had this. He's like, man, that's how you make a living. How's your family going to eat if you're not, you went down that road. So guess where I went? I went to do the closing. My wife didn't stop though. She went ahead and had family picture day. And if you guys reach out to me on Facebook, I'll share it with you. Or maybe I'll just post it this afternoon. It's a picture of on big canvas, mind you. My wife went ahead, my 3 kids, and our dog, which had it blown up on canvas. Guess where she hung that picture? Right over my desk at my office. Okay? Because she knew that was going to be that reminder of what I was missing out on. Guys, she took it a little step further. You've seen the iPhone cases. She had our photographer image it on the cover of the phone. So every time I picked up my phone, there was a picture of my family. But guys, it was
without you though. Without you, you weren't in the picture.
Everybody's in the picture but me. Okay? So I carry that picture, and I've got it in my office now, sitting next to my $50,000 bonus check, because that reminder that was why I was doing what I was doing to build this business. You've heard people share about national events, national conference, and I'm going to share my story about national events because I'm very raw and transparent with each and every person who asks me about my journey with Nerium. We got started again in summer 2012. We were excited. We were hair on fire excited. My wife, I come home from work one day. I was ready to start my fun job, right? We called it our fun job. We had fun with Nerium. And she said, guess where we're going? You're never going to believe it. I said, where are we going? She said, we are going to San Diego. I thought we won a trip or something, right? She said, no. She said, we're going to Nerium's first annual national conference. I said, Megan, we just got started. We haven't even made money, I go, I have a job. If my boss finds out about this, he's surely going to fire me. We've got 3, I had every excuse in the book. 3 kids. Our parents don't just swoop in and take care of our kids whenever we ask them to. So we really had some challenges ahead of us to get there. But I said, no, we're not going. She said, you promised we would be coachable. She had me again, right, guys? So I said, you're right. So we'll figure this out. So we made the financial sacrifice. We let a few things. We sacrificed a lot of things to be able to afford to go on the trip. And we worked it out to where we split up all the grandparents in shifts to watch our 3 ornery kids for 5 days, right? Because not just one grandparent could do it with my kids. So we made that happen. 2 days before we leave, my grandfather passes away in Iowa. My dad calls and tells me the news. I'm immediately canceling my trip to San Diego to go to the funeral. And my dad, he's seeing how excited I am about my new business. He said, I want you to go, and your grandfather wants you to pursue your dreams. So feeling full of guilt, I went to the event in San Diego. Absolutely changed my life. When you go to your first event, you might be in Nerium, and as corny as this sounds, I do not care. But when you leave, Nerium's a part of you now. Okay? You talk to people with a completely different energy. And I'll tell you, when we were on our flight coming back, my wife and I, we were just looking at each other, just blown away at what we had experienced with this company. And she said, she goes, I've got an analogy for what we just experienced, and you might not get this, honey. I said, what is it? And I've heard her tell this to many, many people. But even as a male, I somewhat get this. She said, when I was pregnant with Colson, our first child, She said, all my aunts, my sisters, my mom, all my girlfriends who had kids looked at me and said, this baby's going to change your life. Like, you don't even know what's happening. You don't know what's coming. Your life's going to transform. And she said, you don't understand that until you have the baby. And hold the baby, then you get it. Even as a guy, I got that, right? Conference is the exact same way. I mean, Lacey hit the nail on the head. Get there. If you have even the smallest hope or of dreams of building this business, you owe it to yourself and your family to make the sacrifices to get to Dallas. So I'll get off my soapbox off that. But guys, I'll tell you, when we got back from San Diego, rank advancement. Yeah, I mean, so it's real, guys. My business exploded because of how we transferred that energy of when we got back to the people who were watching us. Guys, you're in Nerium. People are watching you, whether you know it or not. They're watching to see how long you hang out. They're watching to see if you have success. They're watching to see if you quit. Okay? Don't you think you guys posting pictures in Dallas at a national conference is going to transfer that belief to your prospects that you're doing the deal? All right, I'll stop. I could go on all day about conference.
So we are going to fly through this last part. So take some fast notes. This is your landing pages. Everybody has this. This is the tool that you can use to send people to so that one, gets their information. I'd suggest that you tell people that you're sending them there where they're going to put in their name and their phone number and their email address. And, you know, I want you to do that so I see when you have gone there. So if you tell them up front, they'll fill it out. If you send them there and you don't tell them, what did most of us do when they're asking for this kind of information? We don't do it. So just tell them up front that this is the way it is. Put it out. I know that you're on my site looking at it. This is a new promotion that they just added, I guess, for another month or so.
So, while supplies last.
Yeah. Anybody think that we might possibly get this at the convention? So Korea, you know, we've already touched on that. Korea did just launch. It is exploding over there. I shared last night that I think there's 20 million households there, and 10 million of them are in network marketing, and several million of them are full-time. You know, they take this industry very serious over there. And over there, network marketing, relationship marketing, you know, that's a really big position in their life over there. If you can possibly get involved with a company like Nerium over there, that's a big deal for those people.
We don't take breaks in Nerium. Just keep on going.
Do you want to take a quick break?
Oh yeah, who wants some free stuff? You know what?